Hello, music fans. You're watching Death by Unicorn, where we talk about metal, rock, and prog music. And this is New Music's Alive in 2025. I'm going to talk about 3 albums that came out on November 21st, 2025. And I'll talk about them in my order of preference, starting with Spock's Beard and their album, The Archaeoptimist. This is the 14th album by this American progressive rock band. It's kind of symphonic progressive rock, kind of neo progressive rock, kind of catchy poppy moments at times as well. And this one I'm putting in my excellent tier. I was considering even giving it near masterpiece status, but didn't quite make it there for me. It is, not quite as good as their early albums with Neil Morse, which to me are the near masterpieces by Spock's Beard, are all their work with Neil Morse, but they haven't reached those heights since his departure. But they do still put out excellent stuff even without him. And I heard that Michael Whiteman from I Am the Manic Whale helped write some of the stuff on this album, and he also helped Ryo Okamoto with his amazing album, The Myth of the Mostraphus. So I was definitely intrigued by hearing that, because that I thought could be exactly what they need to get back to their older heights. And I really think it did help. Like, this could be the best. This might be the best Spock's Beard album since Neil Morse left. I have to listen to more to decide on that for sure, because it's really close in quality to some of the other Spock's Beard albums after Neil Morse left. But I think a lot of their albums are just excellent. This is a very consistent band. They have maybe just a couple dips like Feel Euphoria and Octane, which are the first two after Neil left, I think for me are the weakest, and maybe not up to their excellent caliber that you'd expect from them. But other than that, they're solid, and every track on this new album is excellent. In particular, the track Aforethoughts has some awesome gentle giant-like vocal harmonies. And the title track, The Archaeoptimist, is an awesome, almost 21-minute prog epic track. So you don't want to miss this. If you like your prog rock, you got to check out The Archaeoptimist by Spock's Beard. Next up, I've got the band Aeons with their album 6EQUJ8. I don't know what that means. I didn't bother looking it up if that has some kind of significance, but it's just an EP here. And this is a single track EP by this band from the Isle of Man. And they are progressive metalcore. They've got some, technical death metal kind of influences, but also like nice atmospheric and just kind of prog rock influences as well. I'm putting this in my excellent tier as well. And yeah, the Isle of Man, you don't hear about too many bands coming from there. It's a self-governing British Crown dependency in the Irish Sea between England and Ireland. That's straight from Google or Wikipedia, or I don't remember where I grabbed that. But yeah, you don't hear about too much from there. I don't think it's that big of a place. This is probably the only band I've heard of from there, but I looked into it a bit more. I do recall hearing that the Bee Gees were born in the Isle of Man, but they later moved to Australia, so kind of hard to say like where that band is from, the Bee Gees. But anyway, aside from let's talk about the Bee Gees another time. Um, I thought Aeon's 2024 album, The Ghosts of What We Knew, was excellent. And this new EP features probably my favorite track from them. Just one long epic track that's almost 23 minutes long. My favorite track that I've heard. I haven't heard all their stuff yet, but this one, it ranges from extremely heavy metal moments with harsh vocals for fans of Periphery to beautiful atmospheric stuff that's reminiscent of Pink Floyd. And yeah, really, if they made a full length album that had 2 tracks that were this good, I'd probably give it a near masterpiece rating, but it's short. So we're talking only a 23-minute EP here. So it's just going to get my excellent tier for now. And last one I want to talk about today is Snarky Puppy and their collaboration with Metropole Orkest. And that album is called Somni. And this is the 16th album by this American jazz fusion group. It's instrumental jazz fusion. They've got classical, funk, pop, world music, rock, all kind of mixed in. And this one, I'm kind of on the border between very good and excellent with it. Snarky Puppy is one of, if not my favorite, jazz fusion bands. And it's really interesting to see them collaborating with the Metropole Orkest. I heard some recent releases from Lewis Cole and Corey Wong that both collaborated with that same orchestra. And I expected this could have that similar vibe to those ones, but with Snarky Puppy's special twist on it. And that's essentially what I got. I got exactly what I was expecting. It's basically the most classical and symphonic sounding Snarky Puppy album I've heard, while still being funky and still being jazzy. The last track, It Stays With You, in particular, was amazing and cinematic, and it's my current favorite track on the album. But many of the tracks on this album are great, like Waves Upon Waves and Chimera. Recurrent is an epic length track at almost 14 minutes long, which is wild because for a lot of it, it's essentially the same 3 chord strikes over and over again. Though there are parts of the song that don't have that, and they kind of change up what's happening behind just these 3 chords. And a lot of the track, Recurrent, has intense drum solo type drumming over top of it. And I don't usually like hearing drum solos on albums, but somehow this is still really cool to listen to. So, I mean, the only reason it's not excellent tier for me is because instrumental stuff isn't usually my thing. If you love instrumental music, and in particular, if you love instrumental jazz fusion, this should be right up there for you. You definitely have to check this out. I'd probably love it more if it had a strong vocalist over it. So kind of leaning towards very good, but really on the border between very good and excellent for Somni by Snarky Puppy and Metropole Orkest. And that's it for my first impressions on these 3 releases that came out November 21st. What do you think of these? Let me know down in the comments. And did anything else come out recently that you think I might enjoy? Also let me know. And if you like metal, rock, and prog music, you're in the right place. I do this New Music's Alive in 2025 roughly weekly, pretty much every week. Sometimes I might be lazy and skip a week or something, but not usually. I've been pretty good at doing this every week. In about a week's time, I'll talk about the new live album from Dream Theater. I'll be talking about the new one from Moron Police, and another new one from a band called Decidia from Australia. So those are the things that are coming out November 28th that I'll be talking about. So stay tuned for that. If you want to hear my first impressions of those, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and stay in the loop on when I post new videos. Peace out.